Absolutely unbelievable. It's a tie game! Woo! Finally! Go Leafs, go! It's not baseball, but let's see a rally. Let's go Leafs! Let's go! Welcome back to the Maple Leafs Media post-game shows. It's been far too long. Hockey is back. Preseason, regular season, playoffs, it doesn't matter. It's just great to see hockey back. And Leafs Nation, the quest for one of these, it's begun. No, let's not go there. Let's not go there. It's way too early. It's preseason. We're not going to go there. I've got my Blue Jays hat on because right now in the Toronto sports world, if you're paying attention, the Toronto Blue Jays are also, they're in a playoff race right now. They are trying to get into a wild card spot. So it's very interesting watching what's going on there as well. Let me know what you thought about this game tonight in the comments section. It's great to see you. I missed all of you. Missed these. It's been far too long. It's been a really, really long time. Hey, Jake, thanks for doing these again. This feels normal somehow. Yeah, I mean, I started doing these Maple Leafs Media post-game shows last season, but it was really fun. I had so much fun coming on here and talking with all you. Last year, we had some friends on the show, and then just everyone in the comments section. It's impossible to do these shows without you. So thanks for coming back. I see some of the regulars already in here. John Howard, Joe, Nevin. Nice seeing you guys. But tonight, 4-1 victory for the Toronto Maple Leafs over the Montreal Canadiens. It felt nice. Felt nice to see the Maple Leafs perform, get a victory, whether it's preseason, regular season, or whatever. But what felt really great was seeing John Tavares out there smiling and doing his thing. He scored a goal out there on the power play, early on the power play, which, by the way, the power play looked better tonight. We can get into that if you want to. But John Tavares, I thought that it was great seeing him out there tonight. He played on a line with Michael Bunting and Josh Hosang. Hosang, someone he played with back in the Islanders organization. Josh Hosang was brought to Toronto on a PTO, a professional tryout, and he's someone who's been he possesses high levels of talent. He has been praised by Don Cherry. So many players, so many people around hockey, just saying how gifted Josh Hosang is, and now he's getting a chance to rejuvenate his career potentially. I thought he looked great out there tonight. Awesome game. The new guys played well. And yeah, let's talk about the new guys. What we see from some of these new guys, I thought the one that stood out the most to me was Curtis Gabriel. Curtis Gabriel, wow, I loved what I saw from him out there tonight. He made a massive hit early on in that game. He dropped the gloves and then he put home an empty netter. Curtis Gabriel is a guy who I think is actually going to get some playing time this year. I don't think that we'll see him regular every night in the lineup, but I think he's going to get some ice time. He's going to get some games, and he's going to get some opportunities to show what he can do at the NHL level. It's starting right now in the preseason, and if he can string together a couple of games like what we saw from him tonight in the first preseason game, then I think he's only he's only helping his case. I thought it would be all talk about the new guys, but damn, it was real nice to see JT out there and looking good. Yes, there's a lot of new guys and there's a lot to talk about surrounding this team and any team in the NHL right now, but when you see your captain come back from a devastating injury, it doesn't matter when it is, if it's in the preseason or the regular season, just seeing him come back and smile, be healthy, look good out there on the ice, that's what matters. And that's the biggest takeaway from this preseason game was definitely John Tavares. I did think Curtis Gabriel was real good. I agree with you, John Howard. Curtis Gabriel made an impact out there tonight. He was brought to Toronto to be a guy who he can fight. Curtis Gabriel can fight. There's no secret about that. I picked up Curtis Gabriel in fantasy hockey last year because I was in a bangers league and he gets penalty minutes. He fights, he drops the gloves, he makes hits. That's why Curtis Gabriel was brought here. Um, he's not he's not a speedy skater at all. If you're watching him out there tonight, but man, he can lay the body, and he can play the role of an enforcer in the modern day enforcer in the NHL. Hutchinson playing great. Love the new guys. Yeah, Hutchinson had a pretty good outing. He didn't face too many shots out there tonight, but Hutchinson looked good out there, and for sure, I agree with you. Nevin says Gabriel will probably be the 13th forward. Uh, Potentially, I was looking at this today and trying to figure out. I was trying to make a projection for the lineup. What I believe, like the Maple Leafs' regular lineup will be from starting from day one. And forget the Matthews injury or anything, but when I'm looking at it, it's really you can put it together, and then there's some question marks with this Maple Leafs lineup this year. The left wing position is going to be hard. There's some big voids to fill up there. Uh, the loss of Zach Hyman on that first line. Who's going to slot into the first line left wing position? Who's gonna Who's gonna replace Zach Hyman's role on the first line? Who's gonna come in and replace Jumbo Joe on the bottom line? I think there's a lot of players competing for those spots right now. Some of those names that stick out to me are Pierre Engvall. Um, Michael Bunting has a spot on this team, but Bunting, you have Engvall, you have Nick Ritchie's going to be competing for some time. There's a lot of left. Like these guys are. It's question marks of how much ice time they're going to get and where they're going to slot into the lineup. Nevin says Ritchie will be the Hyman replacement. I think possibly. I'm not sure. I don't think Nick Ritchie can fill the shoes of Zach Hyman though. That's a big ask for Nick Ritchie, who, in my eyes, is a third line left winger. Do I think he can play on the first line with Matthews and Marner? Potentially. Do I think it will go well? Not necessarily. I don't see Nick Ritchie being the answer on the top line. Who knows? Evan Kerfoot is fighting for one of the top two left wing spots. Lots of guys to choose from. Yeah, there's a lot of guys to choose from. There's a lot of players to choose from right now. And I'm happy I'm not in the shoes of Sheldon Keefe because he's got some big decisions to make surrounding this lineup right now. And only a couple weeks to do that. Only a couple weeks until the regular season kicks off. Let's go. The preseason action is going to continue this week. Monday and Wednesday, Montreal and Ottawa. Some more preseason games. I'll be here as much as I can in the preseason, and I'm doubtful I'll be doing these post game shows all 82 games of the season, but I'm gonna do it as often as I can for sure. Um, Out there tonight, we saw Timothy Liljegren. I'd like to see some more of him this year. We haven't seen Timothy Liljegren in the NHL consistently ever since he was drafted in the first round. We've seen bits of him. Uh, we've seen him called up and down, up and down, up and down, and we haven't seen him consistently in the NHL. There just hasn't been the room for him, and he hasn't progressed to that level yet. But I'm hoping that we can get Timothy Liljegren in the NHL more this year. He's a right-handed shot defenseman. He's a former first-round pick. It's time that we start seeing results from him. It's time to see the results of those years with the Toronto Marlies organization. Let's see what he can do at the NHL level now. And I think that pairing him with a guy like Jake Muzzin is a good idea. Jake Muzzin, left-handed shot defenseman, more of a stay-at-home guy. Timothy Liljegren, right-handed shot defenseman, and he's speedy. He can join up on the rush. So I like that fit. I think it's a match. But do I think Liljegren can play the same minutes as Muzzin? I don't think so. So we're gonna have to find another answer. Maybe Liljegren could be paired with a guy like Dermott. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of defensive depth on this team again this year. There's a lot of depth everywhere on this team, and there's a lot of decisions to make. Right now, if I were to project um, some lines, it's really hard to project lines right now. Um, I think Nick Robertson's another one of those guys that's going to be competing for a lot of playing time this year. I think he'll get it. Nick Robertson last season, I thought he was going to get playing time last year. He got that injury in his first game of the season back in Ottawa. I believe that was only the second game of the year, too. So that was a real setback for young Nick Robertson, who's got a wicked shot. That's one that Leafs Nation's anticipating to be uh, spectacular. We're really the expectation for Nick Robertson is set really high, and we need to see some results. We're gonna need some players to step up, and some not the household names that everyone thinks of. We're gonna need players such as Michael Bunting, Nick Ritchie, uh, Nick Robertson, Josh Hosang. We're gonna need some of these guys to step up and outplay their contracts because they're on pretty close to league minimum contracts. These guys are going to have to step up and perform above their pay grade um, because when you have that much money invested into four forwards, the rest of the forward group's not going to get their payday and they're going to need to perform like they are getting that payday. Rick first says Robertson won't make the team. He will be playing on the Marlies. That's there's potential for that, definitely. We're gonna have to see what happens with Josh Osang here, and we're gonna need to see some of these guys competing for uh, ice time. We're gonna need to see them in preseason action and see how they mesh with the group, how they mix in on certain lines. Leafs looked pretty good tonight. They did. Gaming with Tide, the Leafs did look pretty good tonight. And small sample size early on preseason one, but hey, I like it. I like I like the win. It's a win's a win and it's better than a loss, right? Joe says, speaking of the new guys, how do you feel about the tandem? I'm excited to see how they do. Yeah, so yes. S- I'm I'm excited to see the new tandem. I do like Peter Mrazek. I've been a big fan of him, but it is a bit of a concern to me that our two goaltenders are injury prone. They have an injury history. Peter Mrazek coming back off of a thumb injury last year. He had surgery on it, and he was limited to, I believe, 12 games in the regular season. And then as for Jack Campbell, he was outstanding last year, but a very small sample size from him. I have full belief and confidence in Jack Campbell, but I don't believe in him to play 70 games. I think that this is going to be a goalie tandem. It's going to be closer to a 50-50 split, and they're going to ride the hot hand most of the time, but they're going to need to manage this season, and it's going to be interesting for sure because these are two goalies that have an injury history, and we're going to hopefully it doesn't come to this, but that third goaltending position is going to be important to compete for. We're going to see Michael Hutchinson, Ian Scott, and company competing for that position there. Joe says, "Yeah, good point. I was excited for last year too, and injuries fizzled that out fast." Yeah, so you, injuries happen in hockey, and Jack Campbell's playing style. He's very acrobatic. He's all over the place, and ice is hard. In case you've never fallen, have you fallen on an ice surface? Because it's hard. It's not easy to fall down on ice, and that hurts your body. It takes a toll on your body. Doing that night in, day out, practicing every day too. It takes a toll on your body. These goalies have an injury history. Both of them do. Frederick Anderson had an injury history too. So it's concerning, but I do have confidence in this group. I like Peter Mrazek, and over the past 2 seasons, there's no question he's been the better goaltender between him and Frederick Anderson. He has also been aided by a better defense in Carolina, but I have full belief in Peter Mrazek, and I like the signing. But one thing about that signing is I thought that he did get a lot of money on that contract. I think so. Yeah, even when you know how to fall and land, the ice is still hard. Ice is ice. It's a hard surface. It's not gonna tickle when you fall down. It's not like falling on a sponge. Hey Chuck, nice to see you. Welcome back to the Maple Leafs Media post game streams. First one of the season, and I'm gonna be here a long time. What everyone think of the shootout at the end of the game there? I think that's gonna be happening at every preseason game. It's interesting, but why not, right? Give the fans a show. Fans have missed hockey, and it also gives coaches an opportunity to see what they have out there on the shootout and game plan for the future in the regular season. Hosang looked good. He's better offensively than Engvall, Mikheyev, etc. He looked good out there for sure. But Josh Hosang, uh, he was playing over in Sweden recently, and you know, Hosang, he is a very gifted player. No one's ever questioned the talent this kid possesses. He's so talented. Uh, Don Cherry at one point, I believe he said he was like more gifted than. Uh, I need to find the exact quote before I say this on air. I need to find the exact quote, but I'll look it up and I'll say it again later. But Josh Osang is a very talented player that's never been questioned. Um, he definitely has more offensive ability than Engvall and Mikheyev, but yeah. As for Engvall and Mikheyev, Engvall's a guy who I'm going to be watching this season. Hopefully, he can step it up because he looked better at the end of the last season, and he's going to be competing for ice time regularly on this team because the bottom six, there's a lot of question marks there, especially on that left wing side. So I expect Engvall, Ritchie, Bunting, Robertson, Hosang. These guys are all competing for spots right now. Sang needs to stop tapping his stick on the ice. That gets annoying for his line mates. Um, Good to have hockey back. So happy to see fans in the crowd. Go Leafs, go! Yes, 10,000 strong at Scotiabank Arena tonight, and it was a sight to see. That place looked like there was way more than 10,000 people in there, but that's what happens when there's been a pandemic going on for the last little while. It's just something you become accustomed to. You don't see the fans in the stands, and now when they are added there, it's just that extra energy in that arena must be crazy, and that must be so exciting for these players. Like someone like Curtis Gabriel, that's from uh, the area. He comes back home. He's playing in Toronto preseason game one against Montreal, and there's finally fans in the stands, and they're loud. That must be such a thrilling feeling. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button and hit the notification bell to be notified every time new content's being released here on Maple Leafs Media. The season is coming up soon. It's coming soon. So there's going to be a lot of content to be released. There's going to be a lot of training camp battles going on throughout the preseason here. So we're going to have a lot of videos, a lot of content coming out for you. Also, make sure you check out the Instagram and the Twitter. The Twitter is at Leafs Media, and my Instagram at Maple Leafs Media. Facebook page is it's booming right now. Over 4,000 likes and follows right there. So make sure you check out Maple Leafs Media on all social platforms. Uh, we're expanding here, trying to make this big, and this can be a big season. I'm excited for it. I'm thrilled. New players who will make the team. Who do I think will make the team out of the new players? Um, okay, we can get into this. Well, I think first I'll give my one that might be the biggest surprise to you. I'm going to say Curtis Gabriel. Curtis Gabriel will make the team, and I don't think he's going to be in the lineup every single night, night in and night out. But Curtis Gabriel is going to make this team. He was brought in here to add more toughness and more grit. I think that Kyle Dubas saw what Wayne Simmons added to the team last year, and he said, "Yeah, I want more of that. I want more of that," because Wayne Simmons, when he broke his wrist last year, he couldn't keep fighting. Wayne Simmons can't fight every game. So why not add someone else who can fight and who can stand up for players? Enter Curtis Gabriel into the chat. Curtis Gabriel is going to make the team, in my opinion. Another guy I think is going to make the team, Nick Ritchie, of course. Uh, that I don't think that's even a question. Michael Bunting is going to make this team. Um, Josh Hosang. That's an interesting one. Will Josh Hosang make this team? I think Josh Hosang is going to make this team, and my reason for that is just he's played with John Tavares before, and John Tavares has been saying how he seems as if he's more matured, and he's got to relearn Josh Hosang. He's got to get to know him again because he's a different person than he was before when he was teammates with him back in Long Island. So Josh Hosang, I think, has a spot on this team as well. It's it's gonna be really tough, actually. Um, like I'm saying that these guys are gonna make this team, but not everyone can make this team. So some of these guys are gonna go to the minors. Some of these guys are gonna be released. Um, Remains to be seen. We are only one game into the preseason. I think it's a bit early to make those predictions, but hey, why not? How do you think? How do you think of the Leafs tonight? I thought the Leafs looked good. They look good out there. It was a nice win, nice team win. 4-1 victory over the Montreal Canadiens. They look good in the shootout. They won that as well. Uh, let's go. Let's go. The Leafs with a victory. It was just nice to have hockey back, preseason or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just nice to have hockey back and see the fans in the stands there at Scotiabank Arena. Leafs guy 29 with a 99-cent uh, donation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Leafs guy 29. That is appreciated. You're the man. Go Leafs. I like the effort of Gabriel. Yes, I loved what Curtis Gabriel did out there tonight. He's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to insert himself into this lineup. He's trying to make a case and say, hey, let me be on this team. Nick, he wants to be here. Curtis Gabriel wants to be here. He's from the Toronto area. And man, he made a statement out there on one of his first shifts, makes a big hit, knocks the guy into the bench in between the benches there. Uh, he had a fight. He had a fight out there, ragdolled the guy, and then he scored an empty net goal. It was a nice performance from Curtis Gabriel out there tonight, and I love the energy that he brought to this lineup. He looked amped after he scored that empty net goal, and for us on the outside looking in, we can be like, "Why are you celebrating a preseason empty net goal when you know you already won the game?" Well, for a guy like Curtis Gabriel or a guy like Pierre Engvall or someone who's competing for this spot, that means so much more to them than it does for us looking and watching on TV, because these are guys who are competing for that job. So that's why you love to see that emotion even in the preseason. Hey, big shout out. Thank you, TMF McDonald's with the sub. Appreciate that. I appreciate the subscription. Uh, And for everyone else here, if you haven't already, please make sure you smash that like button and hit the notification bell to be notified every time new content's released on Maple Leafs Media. Always have a bunch of new stuff coming out here. So, season's starting, and there is going to be a lot to talk about in the coming weeks here. By the way, what's everyone thinking of that outdoor game? There's going to be that outdoor game this year. It's been a while since we've talked on one of these streams, so I've got a lot on my mind. Joe Shelder says it was a good goal, and he's referring to the Curtis Gabriel empty netter. He was tired, still pressed, pulled through that, still pressed, pulled that right out of there, and deserved the goal. He did deserve the goal. He was gassed at the end of his shift. He could have just skated off the ice, but no, he wanted to score the goal. He wanted to make the statement, and you love to see that work ethic from Curtis Gabriel out there tonight with a fight, big hits, and that empty net goal. You love to see it. We are back, Leafs Nation, and go Bills. Yes, Shay B, go Bills. Let's go Buffalo. Yeah, woo. Bills play the Washington football team tomorrow, so let's hope for a big Bills dub. I really want to go to that outdoor game. Couldn't go to the 2017 one. Yeah, I've not been to an outdoor NHL game, and I think that's definitely something on my bucket list. I'd love to go to that game in March. It's actually going to be a Sabres home game, but it'll probably be the same as a Sabres home game in Buffalo, where it's all Leafs fans anyways. It's going to be all Leafs fans, and that's going to be a great atmosphere at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton. Uh, yeah, that's going to be an exciting event. March 13th. Mark that date on your calendar and try to get tickets. That's going to be an insane event to try to get tickets for, I think. Gaming with Ty says, I hope Curtis Gabriel makes the team. And if he continues to play the way that he did tonight, throughout the preseason, I think he'll be on this team. Like I said earlier, not every game, but he will he will be in this lineup sometimes for sure. Joe says, I like the outdoor games. It's a big event and it helps the game draw attention. For sure it does. For sure it does. It helps draw attention to the game and it brings in more fans because it's like this going on at a CFL field or an NFL field. So some CFL fan that doesn't watch the NHL, which I don't know how many Canadian Football League fans don't watch the NHL, but I'm sure there's some. They might say, "Hey, wow, they're playing at the Tiger Cats place. Maybe I'll go check that out." I don't know. It definitely draws more attention and big time event. It's just so fun to watch outdoor games being played. The weather conditions. This one's gonna be in March, so shouldn't have any melting ice. Don't think that's gonna happen like it did last year in Salt Lake City. Um, it's a 3 p.m. start time for that game too, so I'm not too worried. This can be in Canada. It's gonna be pretty far north, so I don't think that the ice surface will be that big of a deal. Yes, MLS and MLB as well. If you want to talk about other stadiums that played in, there's been games at I think they played one at Wrigley Field. Um, there's one at BMO Field in Toronto. Just a bunch of outdoor venues, and it's great to see the game expand, and it's great to see these outdoor events. People love watching outdoor hockey. It's just definitely gets a lot more views. But this is going to be an exciting season. I'm very excited to see the Toronto Maple Leafs go at it again. What's going on with the Toronto Blue Jays right now? I got my Blue Jays hat on. Uh, Blue Jays are winning. Let's go Blue Jays! The Blue Jays are up 3-1 over the Minnesota Twins right now in the seventh inning. Yeah, it's a Maple Leafs media post-game show for the preseason, but I'll add some Blue Jays talk in there. We got to support our other Toronto teams here. Oh, what about the Drew House gear? Yay, nay. Joe won't touch it. Um, I'm not a big designer brand guy. I'm not into those fashion brands that much. Like that stuff doesn't interest me that much. Um, I'm more of a meat and potatoes kind of guy here, but you know, why not? Um, it Drew House for anyone that doesn't know, it's Justin Bieber's brand. And why not, right? It's it's gonna make the team more money. It's gonna make Bieber more money. I mean, I'm not gonna be purchasing this stuff, but for those of you who do want it, go ahead and get it. I'm not a big fan of it, but it will. There's people that will like it, so it's targeted for them, and they can enjoy it. But yeah, that's all for tonight's post game show. Maple Leafs with a 4-1 victory over the Montreal Canadiens in the first preseason game. We saw John Tavares make his return after an injury. He scored a goal out there. We saw Curtis Gabriel making an impact in his first game as a Maple Leaf. And we saw hockey. We saw fans in Scotiabank Arena for the first time in far too long. And it was great. It was great to just sit there on the couch, kick back, and watch hockey for the first time in a long time. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button and hit the notification bell. It helps out the channel big time. And I'm gonna be here all season long, and it's I'm ready. I'm ready for the grind. I'm ready for a new season, and I'll be here. I'll be here. So See you around. Thank you for watching, everybody. Until next time.